You've been a good host, done all the right things, vetted your guests, and attracted nothing but great reviews. But still, there is an inevitability that all hosts must accept. It is assumed by all entering the business, and a rite of passage for achieving Superhost. You will have your sheets damaged, and how you approach the situation will reveal the type of host you become.
In this situation, everything seemed to be going well with our guest. She had 5 stars across the board. But once we came in to inspect the place, we found a shed of sheets bundled up into a ball after, we had told her, don't worry about it, because, after all, it is easier to inspect things when they are still laying flat. And that's when we found out that they had been stained with bleach. What is the best way to deal with damage from your Airbnb guests? Before contacting our guests, we set out to investigate what other hosts were saying about the resolution process, and we discovered a few things. For your claim to be valid, you have to submit it before the next guest checks in. So if you have same-day booking, then you may only have a few hours to accomplish this. There is a 14-day window where you and your guests can leave each other a review, but the review isn't public until after this period, or when both parties leave a review for each other. Retaliatory reviews are a major concern for Airbnb hosts because anything under a 5-star review can knock you off of Superhost status. To get around this, they recommend escalating your claim to Airbnb after the 14-day review period if your guest doesn't respond at all.
So it seems that we're going to want to tread carefully when confronting our guests so we can recoup the money that we've lost with our sheets and avoid a bad review at the same time. So, Adam, you mind proofreading my message?
Error detected. Unsatisfactory language.
What?
Deleting message.
Oh, man.
You must follow the 5 rules of hosting etiquette when confronting your guests. Would you like me to continue?
Fine.
Rule number 1. Do not be confrontational in a way that can be detected by your guests. This includes sarcasm. Rule number 2. Assume the guest did not damage your property on purpose. Everyone justifies their actions in their own eyes, and even Al Capone did not think he was a bad guy. Rule number 3. Show concern about the guest's safety and accommodation by asking if everything was okay. This keeps the guest from getting defensive. Rule number 4. Do not demand compensation. Politely ask the guest if they wouldn't mind compensating you for repairs. Rule number 5. Reassure the guest by welcoming them back to stay with you again, since human psychology has a tendency to resent people we believe to have wronged and feared retaliation. Was this helpful?
All right, let's try this again. After we sent the message, our guest gave us a great review and paid us immediately without question. We didn't even have to get Airbnb involved or file a resolution. So it turns out that our assumptions about the worst case scenario were wrong about confronting our guest in this case. Not everybody is going to be offended when you ask them for compensation, but that might be because we weren't approaching them aggressively. However, not all guests cause damage by accident, as we will soon find out.